Hi there, my name is Six Fox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition, and today we are on to Scenario 8 of the Archibald campaign. We just had a great one where we took on dragons to get that award. We will talk about what that award is in just 1 second. But starting off, does anybody know how to check to see if my computer is currently being used by somebody remotely to mine for Bitcoin? The fans on my computer are going like 1,000 miles per hour, and I have no idea why. This is a great laptop. There should be no problems with this. It can handle just about anything. But yeah, if you want to let me know how I can make sure that there's nobody from overseas using my computer as a little bit of a piggy bank, I'd appreciate that. Let's dive right on in, folks, to the intro for Scenario 8, Country Lords.
Well done. The Dragon King is cooperating with us now, and I have him on a short leash. They will supply extra forces for our armies and will cooperate if you encounter any in the wild. Carry on with the attack against Roland's vassals.
Okay, so that kind of tells us what the award is going to be for having completed the dragon scenario. But anyone that we come across in the wilderness that happens to be a dragon, they are going to join us, it sounds like. Let's right click on this. Green dragons, red dragons, black dragons will be willing to join your army. Oh my word, I hope we find many such instances. That will be terrific. Let's read the preamble. Your orders are to conquer the country lords that have sworn to serve Roland. All of the enemy castles are unified against you. Since you start without a castle, you must hurry to capture one before the end of the week. Capture all enemy castles for victory. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most evil. This is probably somewhere in the 4 range. Someone's being more or less held against their will, but not too terrible as far as things we need to consider for the evil scale. We have a choice between basic logistics, which will start us off with an additional 10% movement. The power axe, which will give us a +2 attack skill. And the white pearl, which will be +1 to spell power, +1 to knowledge. I'm going to go to our handy dice roll. It looks like we roll a 5. Oh, looks like we roll a 1. I'm not going to, no, okay, pause. If I just choose the one I want, I'm like, well, I rolled a 5, I could choose a 5. Well, I rolled a 1, I can use a 1. Then I get to pick the one I want. Let's do things a little bit more correctly. How about? Let me just re-roll this one more time, and whichever one we roll now is going to count. 1 or a 2 is option 1, 2, 3 or a 4 is option 2, and a 5 or a 6 is option 3. So we instead roll a 3. All right, so we're going to go with option 2. Wow, we rolled every option here this game. No problems with that. And so that means that we are going to go with the power axe as our starting bonus. Let's make sure that the difficulty is on hard. It is. Remember, we have the Ogre Alliance, we have the Dwarf Bane, and let's get right on into it. The country lords have allied and pooled their resources into one command. Not only have they massed their forces in the north, but they have sent a knight to the west to steal your supplies. Scouts report a castle to the east that would be ideal as a base of operations. I feel like this is the most information we've gotten in a starting section here ever. This is a lot of information. Okay. So there's multiple enemies. They're all allied against each other. No. They pulled into one command. Does that mean that there's only one enemy or multiple? I'm guessing that there's only one enemy. They've massed their forces to the north, and they've sent a knight to steal my supplies to the west. So I have supplies to the west I need to try and get. And then scouts report a castle to the east. That would be ideal as my base of operations. And that's important information to know. So to the north is enemies, somewhere to the west is supplies, and then to the east of this position is going to be a castle I can use. Knowing that I have 0 castle to start off with, I just have Wraithmont the Warlock, level 1 with 50 centaurs, 30 gargoyles, and 10 minotaurs, plus the power axe. This is a little bit of a starting challenge. Thankfully, we get some observation tower opportunity to figure out what in the world do we got to do. Okay, so we have a castle here. It's a sorceress town. That sounds terrible. I'm not thrilled about that at all. So, sorceress town to the east. All these supplies here. It looks like I can absolutely beat Sir Gallant, but I suppose I'm having to choose. Do I let him steal all my supplies, or do I get my castle early. What's along the way? Lots of peasants, lots of goblins. That's not too difficult. I don't want him to get all these resources. It'll take me at least 2 turns to get to him, but I think that I'd be foolish to waste 1 or 2 days just to get my town that much earlier. So long as I get there before the end of today, I'll be fine. Or excuse me, the end of this week, I'll be fine. A couple other points of interest. Dwarves will run here. Dwarves will run here. Ogres, hill fort, ogres over this mountain range. We've got an ore mine here, sawmill here. So the basic resources are covered. Alchemist lab for the phoenixes will be very nice. Gems, crystal. Don't tell me. I'm guessing that this abandoned mine, I'm guessing that that's going to be sulfur. I'm guessing that that will be sulfur. Rats. That is not something I'm looking forward to. And I'm not fighting ghosts with 50 centaurs, and I'm not going to allow myself to simply dismiss 50 centaurs. I don't know how close the enemy is, but I need to keep all the troops I can as quickly as possible. We have had tremendous success with these artifacts, with the movement buffing artifacts. Let's plan on continuing that trend. Let's eventually fight these druids to get to there. And other than that, only other thing I'm really looking at considering is that this is more of a medium-sized map. We won't have the enemy beset us immediately, but we do need to be concerned with our time and making sure that we're not vulnerable at any point of the game. Alrighty. Hopefully he picks up the artifact and the artifact. If he prioritizes those 2 artifacts, which I can steal from him immediately, I'll be fine with that. Let's see where this goes. Beware, red player, you have lost your last town. If you do not conquer another town in the next week, you will be eliminated. Word to the wise. Okay, that looked okay. That didn't look spiffing for me. Of course, every little bit of resources he gets are resources that I lose, but I'm not too worried about it. Navigation versus ballistics. Of course, we're going to take the ballistics on what may be my main hero. That just makes too much sense, and I don't know if there will be water on this map at all. It looks like he split his stacks of rangers. I think that that's a great idea. I'm going to actually split my gargoyles into 3 stacks, and I'll keep the minotaurs close to the centaurs. The cavalries have a speed of 6, so it will probably go my gargoyle, his cavalries, and then I can use the other 2 groups to fly across the battlefield. And so, in fact, I'm going to do something a little bit tricky. I'm going to have my 1 stack of fast gargoyles, and they are going to be right here with just 1 single guy in there. His turn's going to go, then the cavalries, and then my other 2 gargoyles are going to go. And that way I can maximize the effectiveness of the troops who I am going to be sending across the battlefield. This 1 gargoyle probably won't be sent across the battlefield. Maybe he will. We'll see. But let's fight this fight. Okay. And let's fight this personally. Yeah, 6 cavalries is not tremendously concerning, but it is a little bit of a concern. I'm actually just going to have this 1 gargoyle. I'm going to have him stack here far away from the big stack I really care about. And maybe he'll draw the attention of the cavalries. If I can keep him from going into the centaurs, I'll be pretty happy. I didn't check my spells, but curse is not bad. It won't matter if I curse the cavalries this turn. And I think I should be able to swarm due to turn order. I should be able to swarm these rangers up here in just a second anyway. So let's reserve our spot here. And then 1 will go north to the top stacks. And then this 1 will go here to the bottom stacks. Will he work on these cavalries? I think he will. And so for that reason, I actually am going to curse the cavalries. And just so that way I can take as little retaliation as possible. 3 gargoyles, I'm not thrilled to lose that, but I'm hoping that we can get some support from the archers, or from the centaurs. And in that way we can save ourselves the grief. I don't care about this 1 ranger. Let's focus in on their most dangerous stack. And this is good. Or is this bad? I might have given him the opportunity to run. In fact, I think I did. I should have used that morale to make sure that I destroyed both of these stacks of rangers. As it stands, If I back off, maybe I can bait him into staying. Nope. And so he picked up 1 power axe. He did not pick up the cord of wood. Because he did not pick up the cord of wood, I will get it. And in fact, should I get it now? How important is going to be 1 extra little bit to go out of my way? I'm considering now at this point, now that the battle is won, I'm not going to stick around and pick all this up. I'm going to come back for this abandoned mine at some point because I'm assuming that that's either a sulfur mine or a gold mine. Either way, I'll fight it with ogres and ogre lords as soon as I possibly can. But a secondary hero can pick up all these resources with no problem. Perhaps I will pick up this artifact, the +1 wood, and then I'll pick up as many of these treasure chests as possible on my way back over to what will be my town. That sounds like a winning strategy. We have 6 turns to do it, though. As I reach for the ancient artifact, a pack of rogues leap out of the brush to guard their stolen loot. So be it. We better fight that fight. I don't know how important every single stack of gargoyles will be. Let's go into a purely defensive position and force the rogues to come at us. It is worth noting that the rogues do have the ability to prevent any enemy retaliation, so I might as well fly across the battlefield now, which I will do. But I'm going to do it in a way that leaves a little bit of a gap so my minotaurs can get through. And I'm all for that. I would much rather them waste their offensive prowess on the minotaurs because they are hardy and they can take a hit. Okay. I'll take the gold. I'll do what I normally do, which is take the gold if it's only 1,000 gold. Take the experience if it's more than that. I don't want mysticism. I don't think I hate the idea of mysticism at this point, but I think that there will be better options. So we will ignore that for now. This is absolutely a trap, though. If I were to stay and pick up all these resources, that would cost me turns of buildings, etc., etc. As it is, this might already be a mistake, and I just don't know it yet. But we will wait to find out. And I'm trying to maximize my movement points. Basic logistics, I'll take that now, certainly. I'm trying to maximize my movement points by moving east and west and north and south. When you move on the diagonal like this, it does cost you more movement points than if you just go up and down east and west, because the map is essentially a grid. And so you can save more movement points because it costs less movement points to go in up and down kind of deals. And so that's why you saw me walk through the treasure chests and then go up, down, to achieve those goals. Sometimes it just makes more sense to spend the extra movement points to go on the diagonal, but sometimes it makes all the difference to be maximizing your effectiveness with your movement points. We'll accept those results. This is one where I could see myself wanting to get the Alchemist Lab, but because I know I'm going to come back at some point anyway, and I've only got a little bit of time, let's push forward. We're still going to fight these fights because every little bit of experience points help, and then by day 7 I should have my town. Now let me consider this. Let's keep the Minotaurs stacked. I just don't know what's in the castle. Let's split the Minotaurs, and let's actually split, well, yeah, let's split the Gargoyles. Just so that way, if it's not many defenders, I can have Gargoyles fly across, supported by Centaurs. And if I really need to do a ground and pound, the Minotaurs will be in the rear, bringing up the rear. Looks like 30 pixies. Looks like just the main ballista tower for defense. No moat, no left turret, no right turret. But I am going to consider... how do I do this? Because 7 dwarves... I think I'm just going to take the hits from the dwarves. I will accept those hits from the dwarves. 1 to 2, or 2 to 3. At half damage at 2 to 3, or the 2 to 4. I say that we make sure that the elves cannot shoot, but we attack the dwarves instead. I do want to... Should I curse the sprites? It seems foolish, but... it's not going to reduce their damage by much because they are not a very high variance unit, but every little bit helps, especially when I anticipate that the sprites are going to fly across the battlefield and attack my centaurs. Or I can kill 18 to 28 and reduce the damage even further. Maybe I should have cursed the dwarves. Maybe I should have cursed the dwarves. I don't hate the decision one way or the other, but I am thinking about conservation of troops here. I am going to send the Minotaurs up to deal with what's left of the sprites. Now across, and then let's focus on the most dangerous stack. It will take us another turn to get through the walls, and that's okay. The elves will go before any of their other troops. If I can knock down these stacks one by one before the enemy gets a chance to go, then I can save myself the damage I would take from an additional round of defensive barrage. Eagle Eye or Mysticism. We just had a scenario where Eagle Eye did tremendously well. Is that enough to sway my opinion on Eagle Eye? Folks, I don't think so. Well, if it was any other choice, I would say absolutely not. But Mysticism has such a small effect size. At Expert, you only get an additional 3 spell points regained per turn. That's nothing, especially when there's, you know, wells, especially when you can stay the night in your Mage Guild. I had a really great experience with Eagle Eye, and in psychology, this is called the recency bias effect. I have some recency bias effect where Eagle Eye actually did something for me. I can't believe I'm going to do this. We just picked up Eagle Eye. I can't believe it. Let's hop into the town. We're out of movement points anyway. This will let us learn some spells, it looks like, and it will give us the opportunity to regenerate all the spell points we need. I'm guessing that gold is going to be pretty important. Thankfully, we already have a pretty good start on everything else. I didn't think that we'd be able to purchase the Red Tower. So thankfully, this town already comes pre-built. I was worried it would come with just the treehouse and we would have no troops moving forward. This is excellent. I am thrilled for this. I'm going to next turn. Well, I guess I should have. I'm going to lose out. What I should have done is right here. I should have stepped to the side, bought a hero, let the second hero move forward, and then try to get Wraithmont back in. He might not have had enough movement points though. It might have been just that close. We will not try anything fancy right here. Let's just cut our losses, and we'll pick up a new hero next turn. Druid growth +5. And note that that's these druids, and these druids are terrific because they're not the greater druids, and so I did get the +5. If this had been upgraded, the Stonehenge, then I would have not gotten the +5 there. 13 druids this early in the game is really strong. That's really strong. I am going to want to wait until I get that Mercury though. I'm gonna wait to buy them once I can get greater druids for this reason. I'm gonna want them for these ghosts. Greater druids increase their defense skill by 2 when they're upgraded from druids to greater druids. And I don't want to buy them now and then pay to upgrade them later as well. What troops will I buy right now? That's a good question. Let me see if there's any other purchases I need to make right here though. Let's get the upgraded archery range. And so we're going to mix troops, and we're going to have some solid shooters, and we will pick up, I can't pick up all the unicorns because otherwise I will lose the opportunity to purchase a new hero. I hate both of these choices for heroes. It's not that it's bad, it's just that I would have preferred a wizard or a warlock just because they start off with some really fast flying units. As it is, it doesn't really matter which one I pick. So we will take Zom for now, and then with whatever gold is left over, we will purchase the unicorns, transfer them over, and then carry on. Zom is going to leave the zombies here at home, and Wraithmont is going to focus on what is the best move for us right now. I can't pick up these ogres because my army will be full at this point. I think that unlike some of the other scenarios that we've played, I think that resources in the mines are actually going to be fairly important. Let's send Zom to this cache. No. Let's send Zom to pick up this ore mine, clear out these dwarves, get these ogres, and just start to see what's over here. I really wish I had a third hero, actually. And then let's send Wraithmont up here to start working on Sawmill, Mercury from the Alchemist, and then gems and things of this nature. And I'll probably get a third hero. And that third hero will make sure that we can pick up ogres where we need to. The Dwarf Bane, run for your lives. Generally a terrible idea to attack a pack of dwarves with 8 skeletons. In this instance, though, not bad. Let's go into the next turn. Let's see about this. View Mines. We'll cast View Mines. Does it tell me? So in the bottom left, it does not tell me what the mine will be after I remove the Haunted Guardians. But there is some context clue in this regard. There is a sulfur mine right here, which is fairly close to my base. So it might be that that won't be sulfur, and that might be that that will be gold. And that is to be my sulfur mine. Sulfur is not particularly important for the Sorceress faction, but I mean, for every single level of Mage Guild, you're going to need a certain amount of sulfur anyway. So that we'll have to see if we can explore into here a little bit, and maybe that'll help us make a better decision. I like this though. This is really nice to see. Okay, there's some blue enemies here, some blue enemies here. It looks like it will just be one enemy I'm up against, but I'm not seeing this sulfur mine blue or this crystal mine blue. That makes me feel a lot better. Gold mine here, that's interesting. Generally gold mines are very important points of interest. Looks like there won't be a ton of water. Maybe this just is a water feature that goes like this. And then any more gold mines? Just the one gold mine here in the bottom right. So that might be worth it to plan to go east instead of north early, just so I can try and get some long-term resources. Artifact. Leprechaun offers me the ice cloak for the small price of 2,000 gold. Do I wish to buy the artifact? Heck no. I do not, sir. I do not. I don't think that... Ore will be pretty important. I don't know when the next time I'll see ore is. I wasn't sure if it would cost me 2 ore today. I didn't know if Zom would run out of movement points. It looks like he does not. So I wanted to pick those up and get the ore mine, but not at the cost of the 2 ore. Looks like the dwarfs ran away again. Who could have predicted that? That is 2 wood per day from the sawmill. We have full spell points, so we don't need to stop in at the well, but we definitely want to get this alchemist lab. And I'm going to be short on gold. It'll be a long time before I can get this red tower with the limiting factor of the mercury anyway. So our next purchase is going to be a new hero. There's 3 mercury, and that actually is enough to get the upgraded Stonehenge whenever I want it. But for now, let's pick up Agar. Let's have him leave his... let's have him take the centaurs, actually, because there's centaurs here. We might as well just combine all the centaurs into one hero. And we have to venture forth fairly carefully, I think, because I don't want to lose any heroes at this point. That's very nice, this kind of land feature. I know that I can see if the enemy is going to come this way. I'll have a little bit of advanced warning, and they have to bust through a couple of pikemen to get to me anyway. That'll either soften up the enemy or dissuade them entirely from pushing into my territory. Let's have Agar do this swap. I will take all of the centaurs. And in fact, I'm going to take all the troops that might turn into ghosts later. So that also includes these elves. Agar is probably going to get a little bit of play. He's probably going to get the opportunity to clear out some of these troops. And that'll be good for him. And good for me just to get that advanced. The quicker clear of all the resources nearby. I am going to pick up these ogres just because I'm further ahead. The ogres recognize me as the Dwarf Bane. That's an additional 18 ogres. Let's get them immediately upgraded into ogre lords. Let's clear out these skeletons. I'm not going to save these treasure chests because I don't think that it'll be anytime soon that my friends will be nearby. Let's take the gold here, and we see Caraxton. I believe that looks like a knight faction town. If it was Sorceress, I'd be very happy. Since it's a knight and it will take a lot of resources to get upgraded in the first place anyway, I'm not looking forward to it, especially since it'll already be kind of mid-game before the knights can get integrated into my army. Let's pick up these ogres. The ogres recognize me as the Dwarf Bane. Let's clear out this cache. I don't know what these battle dwarves are guarding, but it will be mine soon. And now I think I'm going to start to do my upgrades. I do have plenty of gold. Let's upgrade before I forget. And the next turn we're probably going to get the marketplace. Probably. I don't know. It's hard to say. So let's just get it immediately so we don't have to forget about it. Let's have Wraithmont demolish these skeletons. That does not lose any troops at all. I'm really wondering, because I'm thinking to myself, with 18 Ogre Lords and these spells, Magic Arrows, Blesses, Disrupting Rays, is that going to be enough to take out however many ghosts are guarding that mine? Maybe. I don't know the answer. I really do not know the answer, but I'm a little bit hesitant to bring a unit with only 15 hit points on the road for that. Because if I'm the ghosts, I will immediately do everything I can to kill as many of these gargoyles as possible, and then the amount of ghosts I have to fight just rises and rises. Before anybody gets too far away, let's make this decision. Am I going to need the offensive firepower? No. It'll be better to not have to fight more troops. It'll be more of a ground and pound type situation. I don't know what the ghosts attack at. I don't know what their attack skill is. We will find out. But we have a defensive 9, defensive 5, defensive 8, but tons of effective hit points on these Ogre Lords. So I think that that's going to be my best play there. And I'm actually going to separate the troops like that as well, with the Ogre Lords more in the middle and the Unicorns at the top. Does that seem right? That does seem right. We're going to forego these standing stones for Wraithmont, but we're going to work our way down into this territory, hoping that this is a gold mine, hoping that it's something excellent. If it's just sulfur, I'll still take it, but if it's anything more, I'll be absolutely thrilled. Picking up lots of great resources. I am glad we took out that knight earlier. That saved me some sleepless nights. I would probably be kicking myself right now if I hadn't have done that. Little disconcerting. We haven't seen the enemy at all. No enemy heroes. Nothing of that nature. And Dwarfbane, run for your lives. And if I don't see them, then I don't know where they are and what I should be concerned about as far as like where will they be coming from. Pick up the campfire. I'm getting lots of mercury. Do you see this? I got 14 mercury. I had none, and now I have 14. Terrific. There's more there. Look at these ogres. Well, Agar's going to work his way in that direction, possibly after Wraithmont. After Wraithmont takes out these ghosts in the abandoned mine. So that way we can save those troops. Those troops are good troops. They're going to be useful troops. I just don't want them for that one fight. And so let's ignore all this. And let's get lucky. Because I'll tell you what, if there are 5 stacks of 10 ghosts, that might be just too many. Let's see what happens here. It could be, I don't know what the max stacks it could be. If it's 5 stacks of 20, we're done. But if it's 5 stacks of 2 to 10, I think we can win. Abandoned mine. You come across an abandoned mine. Oh, it is an abandoned gold mine. So once we step on it, it will tell us what it is. The mine appears to be haunted. Do I wish to enter? I do. Ooh. Okay. So it indicates we're going to win, but it indicates that we're going to lose all of the Minotaurs, most all of the Ogre Lords, and the Unicorns. Let's see how this fight goes. Ghosts are, wow, 3 stacks of 15 each. Ghosts are very fast. They are going to do some tremendous damage to us. Now, this is an instance where we got to ask ourselves, do we take the flat damage from the spell for 60 damage points, or do we take the bless? Here's the benefit of doing the magic arrow. 60 points of damage is going to kill 3 ghosts. That'll be less 12 to 18 damage that we're going to have to deal with, not taking into account damage modifiers. But a bless on a large stack, say the Minotaurs, who are a high variance creature with 5 to 10 damage, or the Unicorns, who will do 7 to 14. I think that you're going to get more bang for your buck out of blessing than you will the flat spell damage, especially because you bless them, and then they have multiple rounds of combat to benefit from the bless spell. So I'm not going to cast my bless spell now, lest that, say I bless these Minotaurs and then they swarm them and then I have 2 left. I'm going to want to wait until the ghosts pick their target and then we'll work there. Let's just kind of keep all of our troops clumped together. Let's focus down stacks. Let's do the best we can. Highest variance damage unit, second, third. All right, let's go for it. Okay, there's 1, 2. Wow, those ghosts did a ton. Alrighty, so we're going to be blessing these Minotaurs. Let's do that before we forget. And then let's focus on this. Let's see. Should we focus on 1 stack at a time or try to keep them all fairly even? I say we focus on 1 stack at a time. There's some damage here. There's some damage here. And plus, if we don't spread around the damage, then that's less retaliations that the ghosts will get. Okay, so right now, I'm going to kill 1 to 3. And these ones are going to do 50. Attack skill of 14, defense skill of 7. So we're going to be doing a ton of bonus damage. We're going to be doing 70% bonus damage with these Minotaurs. Wow. I think, actually, because I want to keep these Minotaurs as healthy as possible, I think I'm actually going to use these 3 Minotaurs. No, I'm gonna use these 3 Minotaurs on these ghosts. And I'm gonna assume that these Minotaurs are gonna kill 7. Nope, they're only gonna kill 4. With all the bonus damage? Really? You're only gonna do 85 damage? Well, that's what we're gonna take then, and I'm glad I'm just focusing on the 1 stack then. So let's do that. Ooh, terrific. And let's just take care of 1 whole stack. 1 whole stack. If I could get a bless right there, or if I could get a blind, that would be maybe the best thing in the world. Maybe the best thing in the world. The second best thing in the world would be a disrupting ray, because you already have fairly low defense skill anyway, and I don't think I'd be getting a whole lot of extra damage out of blessing 1 unicorn, not blessing 1 unicorn, not blessing 1 stack of ogre lords, not blessing just the 3 minotaurs. I am going to attack these ghosts. But first, let's Disrupting Ray the largest stack. Let's just maximize our value. And the nice thing is that by using these 22 hit points worth of unicorns to attack these 17 ghosts, is that they're not going to take the retaliation. It's going to be 18 ghosts in just 1 second, but I'm actually more okay with that than anything else. The only problem is now I'm kind of tripping over myself a little bit here because of where they flew. That was just smart placement by them. I'll make sure that I can hit all stacks because I'm not worried about the retaliation taken by Ogre Lords. I'm going to lose 1 Ogre Lord here from the retaliation, but I'm still doing more damage than I'm taking. And then that way, everybody else can attack the biggest stack. And let's just stomp them down. Get out of my face. And let's focus on... Let's see, we Disrupting Raid here. Let's Disrupting Ray over here now. Let's let the Ogre Lords take the retaliation here. Focus. 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 Just don't spread the damage out. That's the one thing I don't want to do. Alrighty. So we're going to win this fight, and we're going to do much better than we did before. I am going to waste my last little bit of Disrupting Ray. I don't even want to worry about this. That'll be... Okay, and this is worth noting. So with 1 defense skill versus 4 defense skill, I'll do 46 to 64 damage, or I will do 40 to 56. So just on this small stack of 4 ogres, you can see how big of a difference that makes. 2 to 3 deaths versus, I guess it would be... I guess it's going to be 2 to 3 either way, but 40 to 56 damage versus 46 to 64. Yeah, this could almost be a for sure 3. So, anyway, just worth noting. It's always fun to see the side-by-side comparisons. Let's take out 1 whole stack, And then do I, let's see, I've only got 11 hit points here. I've got 3 hit points here. I'm actually going to wait. I'm not going to feed these ghosts. I'm going to make them come to me on this. So we're going to skip. I don't think you're going to do 53 points of damage. Let's do that. And let's finish this fight. Okay, very, very costly. And ultimately we ended up, it looks like we ended up actually fighting and defeating more ghosts. There was no stacks of 20 in the auto combat, but we ended up saving way more ogre lords, and we ended up saving way more, like 1 whole extra minotaur, which, let's not say that's a small thing. That's something. 1,000 experience. It was a tough fight. We are not taking necromancy. That is like the what is it, 1 in 10 chance. That's the 10% chance that a warlock can pick up necromancy. Today's not the day. Today's not the day. In fact, we are just going to focus in on our Eagle Eye. We're going to make sure that that is advanced, because everybody loves advanced Eagle Eye. I'm a believer. Alrighty. These resources can get picked up by anybody. Since I already have the 1 ore mine, I'm going to send Wraithmont home. Agar will pick up some orcs, because why not? Well, I'll tell you why not, because now his morale is terrible. That's a good reason not to. But then they're going to meet up, and then Agar is going to clean out all these resources just to save the movement points on my main hero. I don't have another hero that can ferry troops to him, but Agar has a fairly reasonable stack anyway. Let's go into this oracle. Nestled among the trees sits a blind seer. After you explain the intent of your journey, the seer activates his crystal ball, allowing you to see the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents. So it's just me and blue. They've already got crusaders. Their primary hero is not terrible. The 2 power and the 2 knowledge on a knight is actually pretty okay. Surprisingly, though, they've got very low defense for a knight. 5 points into attack. There's probably some artifacts at play there. But here's the thing that I'm looking at that's very concerning. They have more towns than I do. They have more castles than I do. They have more heroes. They have more gold in the treasury. They have more of everything. I guess I have more artifacts and I have more wood. But that means I need to be kind of aggressive, especially knowing that I have stacks of ogres I can turn into ogre lords. I should probably use those to catapult myself forward into a win as quickly as possible. I do see just here in the corner, this looks like it's probably going to be a sorceress town. Don't ask me how I know that. But it looks like just something about the fence. I know that the fences look the same, but something about the tree that just looked like a sorceress, and I think I'm right. Am I right? I don't know if I'm right. That might be another night town. Interesting. Okay. I don't want to wander off too far, because 14 ogres can turn into 14 ogre lords. Let's consolidate, and then let's push forward again. But that's interesting that we have 2 towns not too far away from us. Any purchases to make? Nope, just waiting for the phoenixes. I'll pick up the crystal garden. I've got the gold. And you know what? I think I'm going to pick up another hero, actually. I really will. And then this way we can ferry more troops out there, because we did upgrade the Stonehenge and we upgraded the dwarves. Let's get 13 of the greater druids. Let's get 14 of the dwarves. Should we pick up sprites or 2 unicorns? Let's pick up the sprites. And then let's try and meet up with whoever's going to come this way. Okay. And actually, who had View Mines? It was Zom, I believe. Let's have Zom cast View Mines. Nice to see that this sulfur hasn't been taken yet. Looks like they're heading kind of this way. This mine has not been taken. This one's not been taken. So I feel like there's a little bit of a bubble here. Not necessarily, but it feels like there's a little bit of a bubble. And so it feels safer than the alternative. I'm wondering if I can sneak around here and get into these ogres sooner rather than later. That's my hope. Let's shoot for that. It's day 7, folks. Best day of the week is Monday. Best day of the week is always Monday. Ooh, and perhaps I should have saved that with Jezebel. Yeah, I should have waited. I should have waited 1 more turn before having Jezebel set off. What am I missing here? I'm missing some. I'm really missing some. Some troops. Let's have Zom head back. Because I'm debating now, should I buy another hero for 2,500 gold, leave myself with 4,000 gold to just purchase a few more troops? Having 5 heroes is a lot. That's a lot of that's a lot of heroes. But there's these extra spaces that are just kind of sitting there, and because I've got extra gold here, I just kind of feel like that's not actually a terrible thing to have an additional hero. I don't think it's a bad thing. Wow, I really don't usually do this, and this may come back to bite me, especially since I've got the Mercury pretty much. I just need the gold for the red tower. But I suppose that since I picked up that other gold mine, I do have a little bit more leeway. I'm not as strapped for resources. And so I think that I'm actually not terribly upset with this decision. I upgraded the Battle Dwarves just because I wanted to make sure that they weren't slowing me down. Should I pick up the Grand Elves? I would prefer to pick up the Unicorns, but I can only get 3. Let's get the 3 anyway. Start heading that direction. And then let's move over the Greater Druids, who are really the stack that I'm the most grateful for. Oh, and there's a way to do this. So you highlight and then you move. Or if I highlight and then I move. Yeah, okay, interesting. So I want to point this out. This is something that Zentz, one of the developers for the F-Hero team, told me in the comment section for the last video. If you highlight a group in any stack and then you hit the over arrow buttons, whichever stack is highlighted, that's the stack that will stay. So that time I highlighted the orcs, this time I highlight the goblins, and then I move them over and the orcs go over there. Very interesting. If you've seen some high-level Heroes of Might and Magic 2 players play, they can breeze through a turn, and you can't see their keyboard, you can't see all the shortcuts and hotkeys that they're using, but they can get their turns done tremendously fast. Absolutely blinding speed. And I have aspirations. I aspire to be there someday. I'm not there yet, but it's not too late. It's never too late. Let's make that swap, push forward. No purchases to make because, hey, I got no gold. Let's have Jezebel. Well, yeah, Kazam is going to be too far away here. We're going to do this swap here, where Carlon is going to take these ogres and then press forward, trying to catch up. And then Zom is actually going to be the one to go back. He doesn't have any levels. He doesn't have any artifacts. It doesn't matter. So we'll send him that way. I guess the one thing I should consider, do I want this graveyard? That's probably a pretty good artifact. Plus it's Witch Doctor's Hut. My main hero is already low enough on spell points. I'm probably going to stop by this magic well. Let's actually go that direction after we get a resupply. And let's send everything over we can. We are going to lose the Minotaurs to pick up some excellent shooters. And let's think about army composition here. Flyers, Hardy Backbone Troop, Grand Elves. So it's weird to have 3 shooters, but I think that's my 3 stacks of my strongest units. And so for now, this is what we're going to stick with. But I recognize it looks a little weird. If it feels a little weird to you, it feels a little weird to me. Don't worry, you're not crazy here. This would be logistics in this witch's hut. We don't get it, and that's okay. +1 to knowledge after we look at some chicken entrails. We are going to be finding lots of zombies here. We don't have a lot of spell points, but we do have just enough. I think I can use Bless very effectively on some of these shooter troops to slow them down. You tentatively approach the burial ground of ancient warriors. Do you wish to search the graves? I do. Looks like I'm actually okay with that. Losing 35 of these centaurs. They're my weakest shooter unit. They're the ones I care about the least. That's terrific. I don't mind losing them, but let's fight the fight anyway. That's kind of interesting. I'm guessing actually that this fight is going to go different just because of the terrain, the impassable objects on this battle map. If I'm these zombies, I'm probably not going to go for these centaurs now just because I can only get 2 stacks in there anyway. Interesting. Best stack to bless, 5 to 8 damage, 2 to 3, but with a double shot. 1 to 2. I think that my best bless is going to be on these Greater Druids. Let's keep the Greater Druids safe and fire at the enemies directly across from them. And let's try and take down full stacks if we can. 2 to 3, down to 1. That would be great. Okay. And then let's start working on the next one. Looks like all the zombies are going to start pathing up towards the Greater Druids, which is not to be unexpected. I could kill a full 13 there. I will kill the full 14 here instead. And then I am going to bless the Grand Elves. 2 to 3. The bless isn't going to do a ton, but it will help because it's a double shot. Let's have them work on this middle stack. 12 Ogre Lords can dish out some punishment to these mutant zombies. Okay. Let's work on this stack. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, we're working on that stack. Don't worry about it. I'm actually going to have my Grand Elves run. I don't want them to take any amount of punishment here. Let's work on these big stacks. Let's stay out of the way of the enemy. I'd rather lose gargoyles and even an Ogre Lord or two than any other major hitters. Should I can kill 6 to 9 mutant zombies, or should I take out 1 full stack? But I'll take the retaliation. Ogre Lords are tough. I may lose 1. That won't be the worst thing to ever happen to me. 4 to 6. Let's try and kill 1 full stack. And I could not help it. I am going to lose some centaurs, but 9 looks better. It feels better to be effective. Upon defeating the zombies, the search for the graves finds something. Ever-hot lava rock causes fire spells to do 50% more damage to enemy troops. That will be things like Fireball, Fire Blast, Armageddon. There are some pretty terrific spells out there. I don't think the Elemental Storm casts as strictly a fire damaging spell, but I wouldn't be surprised if that one also counts. Let's start pressing forward. Jezebel, I think, is not going to be surprised by any main enemies anytime soon. So even if someone comes right here, I'm not saying I'd love to lose these troops, but I've had worse things happen. You got to be a little bit aggressive. Mage guilds, I'm aware, but the red tower, we're going to get this red tower before the end of the week. Somebody else is going to go get that. Let's have Carlon step here. Ogres and Orc Chieftains. So I guess there's some other stack. Not Jezebel. It must be Agar. Has these orcs that we can upgrade in just a second as well. We might as well. If we're going to take the troops, we might as well get the best ones possible. This is an instance, though, where, you know, I have these secondary heroes that have so many mixed types of troops. This is a time where when people say, FixFox, why was leadership an S-tier secondary skill for you when some other excellent skills were not? Why did leadership make the cut but not other ones? It's because of this exact time. You're never sad to see leadership on a secondary hero. Say that Jezebel gets into a fight with somebody and she has the morale bonus from leadership. She can fight with 3 mixed troops at no main cost to her. And often you find on primary heroes and secondary heroes a mix of troops. So it's never a bad thing to see. The only time you wouldn't benefit from it is when you have something like this, where it's 1 small stack is the only thing that's going with your army. But otherwise, I tend to find that it's worthwhile to fight fights occasionally that the enemy wants to press on you, wants to pursue with you, and not have to worry too much. Okay, we have the gold. 1 more day for Mercury, and we got our red tower. But I hope that makes sense as far as why I believe that leadership is S tier. Plus 5 gems. Let's take a quick look here. So we are missing still. We got 3 wood, 1 mercury, 4 ore, 1 crystal, 1 gem per day. We're still missing sulfur. We know that our nearest sulfur is in this area. That's just so far away. I wonder if they put it there specifically just so you can't sprint with your mage guilds. Joke's on them, though. We picked up tons of sulfur that was just laying on the ground. This should be enough to get this. Yeah, this will be enough sulfur to get us into a level 2 or a level 5 mage guild if we so desire. And in fact, I think we just might. Let me consider. Let's pick up this. I don't care about that witch's hut. It's way too far out of the way for anybody to really want to use it. Let's revisit. And if we can, because morale is that good, let's get the +2 morale here. Looks like we're in the same area as our friends here. Cast few mines. Okay, so we know that this mine, our bubble has now been breached. We've lost containment a little bit. Jezebel is potentially in a tough spot. But Zom is also going to be in a tough spot in just a second because he can't go further this way. He's got to press up this way. I would much rather lose Zom than Jezebel. But if I can get Jezebel down, I can pick up these ogres. It's a risk I'm willing to take. In the meantime, my primary hero is riding closely at her back and should be there shortly. I really wanted to go out of the way to get this magic well. For now, I'm going to have to rely on only 5 out of my 50 spell points. Maybe that would be a good reason to take this town. Well, no, because I can't build a mage guild in there until I upgrade it to a castle. And there is my answer. So Zom is somewhat disposable. I would much rather get some more information like this than I would try and fight Ektor. I don't think it'll help me too much to try and run. I think he's doing his job by adventuring and being out there. Oh, buddy. Remember our new bonus that we've picked up? Nice to see a few green dragons. That is a very welcome sight. Let's have just all the orcs together. And Carlon is going to push out. I think as many heroes as possible pushing out to get vision. I think that the better I'll be off. I'm going to want to make sure that I get these troops, and I'm going to have to do some mixing up. Here's the problem now. Okay, so Jezebel has 1, 2, 3, 4 types of units. And so then you compare Jezebel and Wraithmont. There's no overlapping units. They have 9 total different types of units between them and only 10 slots. And I'm trying to pick up Ogre Lords, or I'm trying to pick up Ogres, not Ogre Lords, and Green Dragons at the same time. I'm going to need Carlon to hurry and get there as soon as possible. Do I press into Ektor? I think not. And do I feel comfortable fighting whoever might be in the darkness? I think not. I think that we might actually just push into Vertigo. I think we might just push into Vertigo. Let's just check real quick. Let's buy a Thieves Guild. It's a low investment, especially considering I have so many resources. Lord Kilburn is still their primary hero. We are actually tied for the number of heroes. That is excellent information. They have 5 heroes running across the map. What I believe is probably from 2 bases of operations plus a couple of towns. Yeah, okay. So Ektor is probably not nearly as strong as he would like to think he is. Yeah, he's got some Crusaders, but with all my shooters, good luck getting close enough to me. That's a good example of my expert scouting coming into play. I feel a lot better about this uncharted territory than I did before. I'm still anticipating that Ektor will flee back, but I think that Jezebel can pick up these ogres. We can run the gambit back. As long as I can get them upgraded, I'll be okay. I think I can press here. Maybe even... Maybe I should have actually had Zom. Now that things have developed, I wish that I had Zom run back here. So that way he could pick up troops, clear out these orcs real quick, get this observation tower, and then go back. That observation tower is highly strategic. Highly strategic. But I also want to make sure that I am able to pick up these troops without getting attacked midway through. We're going to have to end our turn and just see what happens. And then let's do Wraithmont last, actually. Let's push Carlon up. Let's have Jezebel press into the ogres. That'll be plus 31. That'll be plus another 24. That's terrific. That is terrific. I'm going to do something that is generally a little silly, but it makes sense here. I only have 1 Minotaur left. I don't think I'm going to get any more Minotaurs at any point. Let's pick up the dragons just with Jezebel. The dragon, snarling and growling, agree to join forces with you, their ally. Sounds like you understand that you're being forced to do this against your will. I get it. I wouldn't be thrilled, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. Okay, and that actually takes a load off my mind because we can do a little bit of a swap here, and then we can safely run those troops back, get them upgraded, and then we'll get them into Wraithmont's army later. So, Agar, let's have him also go up here just to help facilitate that swap. We're going to do a major transition. There could be somebody right here with 2 extra dragons and 55 ogres. I don't think anybody wants to attack Jezebel. Not if they can help it right now. We'll take those acceptable losses. Let's see what's in this town. Nothing special. Do I want to pay to improve? This one is a sorceress town. Do I want to pay to improve it? I've got all the resources I need. It'll be an extra 750 gold per day, so it'll pay for itself as far as the gold cost goes in 6 turns, 7 turns. It is day 7 though, but I'm not going to have anybody go back and get additional phoenixes anytime soon. Let's get the castle. Let's get the castle, and then maybe next turn I do get a mage guild, so that way I can pop in at my leisure. If somebody busts through right here, right now, I'll be very upset, but I think that they will see this town and grab it first before they head over here. Oh, and that is a sorceress town. That is not a knight town, as I originally supposed. Once again, if Wraithmont had just a little bit more movement, you know what I would do? I would move him out of the way. I would have another hero be purchased this turn. That hero would go, fight these orcs, bring it back. But I just don't have the movement. The margins are this thin. You know what, folks? If we had started off with basic logistics, we would have had 2 opportunities already where the razor-thin margins would have worked out in our favor. Just saying. So day 7 on to day 1. Week of the dog. Week of the dog. We can't get too far this way. Let's move our secondary heroes now. Hector might be able to reach Jezebel. Do I care though? No, I don't. Let's transfer over all the units I care about. Here, 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 and here. And let's head back. And then Agar's actually going to sit right here, assuming that Carlon can get at least that far next turn. It looks like she can. So that's in a pretty good spot. I think that if I have a fairly decent army that is... He might not make it to Jezebel. He might not make it. I think I'm really going to focus on this observation tower. I am going to do what I just talked about doing. I am going to buy a new hero. I will purchase Crag Hack, simply because Crag Hack is going to start off with more movement points than Tyro would, because goblins are faster than peasants by a lot. Let's have... Wow, that's interesting. I gotta go that far out of my way. We're gonna kill this stack. We're gonna fight this fight. We're gonna kill this stack of druids so I have access to these resources and these artifacts while I'm waiting. I'm not going to cast any spells if I can help it. How many will I kill in one stack? 5 to 7. So a bless I don't think is going to be particularly useful here. Their greater druids are gonna go next. Should I curse? 70 points of damage. That'll kill only 2 druids. And I don't have any slows. I don't have any hastes. Let's just kill the 5 to 7 greater druids here. Take their retaliation. And then jam up this top stack. I'll probably lose more gargoyles than I will anything else. And then let's work on this bottommost stack of druids. Yeah, I'm going to lose. I'm already losing druids fast. Again, let's focus on the bottom stack. Hopefully I kill all 4. I do. And then with 2 hit points left... 2 hit points left. I don't want to waste the spell points. I think I'm just going to need the spell points for later. I really do. The the greater druids have already gone. Let's try and kill these druids, and then these poor gargoyles are just gonna be the punching bags. Taking out those druids. Okay, everything went much better than expected, and these 2 hit points worth of greater druids is going to survive. I really thought that I would take 1 more little point of damage, so I did lose more gargoyles. I'm not going to ever be able to resupply the gargoyles, and that's okay. Okay, so Crag Hack is now going to pick up the army. Let's do it that way. And then it's going to take a few turns to get back over here, but Wraithmont's going to take a little bit of time to get into here anyway. We'll take the leadership, and we'll pick up these for our own personal use. I know that we're leaving ourselves very exposed here, but I think that once we get these 55 Ogre Lords, I don't think that we're going to have to worry about Ector getting into our back line here. Okay, we've got a plan. It's a good plan. I like our plan. Heck, you can even... Ector can probably even... He's going to take... We're going to have to be careful. He's going to take this town for free. And he's probably going to move to here. At some point, I'm going to have to make sure that... Wraithmont is the one fighting that fight. An old man claiming to be an inventor asks you to try his latest invention. He then hands you the compass. Before anything else happens, let's split these goblins. The worst thing in the world would be to not be able to have the opportunity to run. I need that opportunity to run. We'll take the mysticism. We've already beleaguered not having spell points. The sounds of combat draw you to a scene of a fight between an old barbarian and an 8-headed hydra. Your timely intervention swings the battle in favor of the man, and he rewards you with a pendant he used to calm his mind for battle. I didn't read that incorrectly, by the way. It sounds so wrong to my ears, but he rewards you with a pendant he used to calm his mind for battle. That's the way it reads. It doesn't sound right to my ears, but what do I know? I'm just a native English speaker. Whatever. Let's fight this fight. Orc scatter, that is fine by me. I'm not going to fight this fight. Observation tower. Okay. Okay. Oh, tremendous. This is so helpful. So we noticed that there was some water here, and there's like a mine here, and we thought maybe that there's just like a little water feature here. No. It looks like that's a hard bridge to cross. It looks like there's just the tail end of a boat there, and because there's flotsam, sea chests, it looks like there will be some potential water. Trading post here, that's excellent. Another hill fort up there, and then just all these extra resources here. But really, there's my next sulfur mine. Sorceresses. Perhaps I haven't done my due diligence by focusing on picking up towns like I should have been. Just seeing all these local options kind of hurts my heart a little bit. We'll come back for the treasure chest and this artifact when I get around to it. But right now, we got more important things to do. Let's have Carlon do our swap. We're really there to swap for the Ogre Lords, but we'll do the full swap anyway. And we'll swap everything back. Just like that. And then Jezebel, that means that Ector can also attack her. If she can attack Ector, that means he can attack, they can attack each other. At this point, he probably can still attack her. Does he want to, though? He can't get the town and get her. I would much rather him actually take out her. So I'm going to do something a little silly. I'm going to move her to right here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And Carlon actually might not be able to reach, but it's a little bit of a bait. It's a little bit of a bait. Well, it's not too late, actually. Let's just go to here, since that's how far Carlon will get. And my priority will be keeping Wraithmont alive rather than not losing this town. That's fine. And maybe, hey, maybe the enemy will build some buildings for me. Might as well take the sprites and just let the good times roll. All right, let's in turn. This is getting a little intense. This is getting a little intense. Yep, and that was the next thing I was concerned about is who are we going to see next? Okay, so Wraithmont's got a tremendous amount of movement points. So he's not going to have to worry about fighting this fight without troops. We can get to here and then plan our next decision. Let's swap everybody over. Crack Hack has done a marvelous job. Thrilled with everything he's done. Let's just check to see if there's any changes. So Gwyneth is now the new hotshot, but that was not Gwyneth. That was Maximus, and that's Ector. I suppose I need to check amount of heroes, number of heroes. We still have 5 heroes, so 1, 2, and Gwyneth are accounted for. I don't know about the other 2 heroes, but we saw some mines being collected over here. Maybe there's some heroes on an island, and maybe I do have the advantage in heroes. So let's see if we can do our swap. Let's see, maybe we can make it far enough to where Jezebel's troops can be useful. Oh, I think we could do this. I think we're gonna do this. Ha ha! Okay, let's go to here. I'm just barely short. I don't think I have 220 movement points, but I am on grass. I am on grass. I think I have just enough. Folks, I think I have just enough movement points to make this transfer work. No, because I'm on the diagonal. It'll cost 100 movement points to move there. And then I think, what does it cost? Like 125, and I have 220? So I can move 2, but I can't move 1 and 2 because it's on the diagonal. Or maybe that 20 is enough. Maybe it's less movement points just to meet up with somebody and not actually move into that space. The worst it'll cost me is Jezebel, which I'll be sad about. But not the worst thing to ever happen to me. Ector can't get Crag Hack. Let's give it a shot. If it works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't work, I'm sad. And then let's move over. First things first. And then we're gonna forego. We don't need so many shooters. We really don't. Have our strongest units in the very center, our slowest units, so that way they can respond to either the greater druids or the grand elves. Do you want 46 centaurs or the 10 grand elves? I actually think that you want the 46 centaurs. I do. And plus that makes Jezebel's morale go up a little higher anyway. We'll split these dwarves just in case we have a problem. But otherwise, let's see if we have enough. We do! Terrific. Because we have 120 movement points left, and that is enough to go on the diagonal and still take out Ector. By the skin of our teeth. Logistics. We got logistics a couple of turns ago. Yeah, 10% matters in a big, big way. Let's fight this fight. Whoa! Oh my word. I mean, the stack of Ogre Lords, it says, is going to stay very, very healthy, but losing 2 dragons and 12 of my greater druids, I cannot accept that. I know I don't have many spell points, but we must do better than that. We simply must. I think perhaps the biggest thing is make sure the green dragons don't fly into the teeth of the enemy. With 9 defense, 9 defense, 6 attack. Thankfully, I do have 6 attack. But most of my points are put into spells, of which I don't have many. So 21 defense skill. Wow. 13 attack. So for example, 13 attack, 21 defense skill, that's 7, that's 8. That is 40% reduced damage I'm going to be doing to these Crusaders from these greater druids, and even worse on these centaurs. Wow, that's a little concerning. Knights are tough. And the 9 defense is going to come in very clutch for Ector. My hope is that we will have lots of good help from the... I'm hoping we'll have lots of help from the Defense Ray, Disrupting Ray, and the Bless, because those are going to be my 2 spells, I think. 1 Bless on the Greater Druids, and then a Defense Ray. Which is better right now, the Disrupting Ray for the -3, or making sure that my Greater Druids do max damage? 45 to 72. And that'll be 15% more damage with the Disrupting Ray. And the disrupting ray is actually going to go on these paladins, not these crusaders. I think that we cast bless now, because that'll be 2 turns of blessed damage as opposed to 1. Because these troops are going to get across this battlefield fairly quickly. Fairly quickly. Let's take out 10 to 20 damage. The attack skill is the same. They're still going to do a double strike. The other modifiers aren't going to matter. Let's take out the paladins. Work on their biggest stack. Happy to see that. Every time, anytime. Let's go into full defense. I think I'll be able to move the dragons out of the way, and then the gargoyles here, the ogre lords here. And I don't think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the crusaders will have to choose either ogre lords or gargoyles to attack, unless of course they get good morale like that. Oh boy, oh boy. I don't think that I'm going to be able to keep these green dragons for too much longer, and I need to get them out of the way here somehow, anyhow. Well, if I attack in this direction, I'd love to get this juicy attack here, do 50 to 100 damage on 2 groups of units. But I'd rather play defense and keep these druids alive, even if I lose these green dragons. And I don't want to lose the green dragons. Even if I do lose them, though, they will have served their purpose and helped me push out on the front. So let's do this now. It's 1 more paladin. I'm going to absolutely sacrifice these centaurs to these ravenous wolves. And let's take out these last 2 here. Okay. Well, now I can free up that disrupting ray for another troop. It'll probably be these master swordsmen. The pikemen have got the same amount of defense, but the master swordsmen will do more damage. Let's see if we can. Do we want to kill 1 to 2? 1 to 2. I actually think that if we start working on these crusaders, maybe we can not have to focus them down with a bigger stack of troops later anyway. It looks like I was more or less correct with 72 damage. Let's get our disrupting ray off of the master swordsman. And actually, do I want to kill 2 crusaders, or do I want to start working on these master swordsmen for 108 damage or 72? 7 hit points left. Let's start working on these master swordsmen. Let's have gargoyles and this dragon work on this crusader here. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. The crusaders have already taken their retaliation. 42 hit points left. Let's do that. And then these centaurs should be able to finish off. I don't know if 46 centaurs can do 13 damage to crusaders. I don't know. These ogre lords, though, are about to do work. There goes 1 crusader. That's terrific. And that's really what I wanted, is I just wanted those green dragons to hold for 1 more turn so the pikemen couldn't get in there and bother the greater druids. Let's take out 4 here. Let's take out another 4. We might as well push forward. I'm not worried about losing any gargoyles. And while that is sad, that's not to be that's to be expected. And then the enemy runs. So the losses are so much better. We fought that fight so much better. The only thing that's sad is that Hector does run, and I'm guessing he has got some pretty terrific artifacts. But to be fair, if I was in his position, I would say, wait. You moved troops from here to here, 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 and then here to here. Like, all of a sudden, he had way more troops than he could possibly have ever dealt with right on top of him. I think that he would have every right to be a little perturbed. So I get it. Let's see. Let's have Agar actually go back to get this magic garden, and then Agar is going to have the pride and joy of going back to our main town here, Woodhaven, to pick up phoenixes as soon as possible. Note that we do still need to take Vertigo back. Good turn. I've got no complaints with the way that any of that worked. We're going to have... Oh, this town's empty. They didn't purchase anything. They didn't do anything with it. Let's have Wraithmont go immediately north into Big Oak. We'll take that town for free. And maybe they'll have a mage guild, or maybe they won't. They won't. So there's no point in staying overnight. Let's start pushing into this territory. If I can clean out all this, there's a magic well right there. If I can get this other town, I'll be feeling great. I don't think I'm going to upgrade either Big Oak or Craxton anytime soon. 41 wood, 33 ore. I think that if I can focus my resources on my mage guild in Woodhaven, that'll serve me the best. Another 5 gems. That's wonderful. And then Jezebel is going to take Vertigo. They built a well for me, if you notice there. Right here, they built the well, which was always a good investment. Let's pick up the statue. I plan on holding this town now. Even if I start losing it a little bit, I'll eventually get that gold back, I believe. Let's get this Mercury. 4 Phoenixes. Phoenixes are terrific. Let's make that happen. We're just going to walk through the Oracle just to see. Number of heroes. We are now in the lead of heroes. Wooden ore artifacts are still the same. They still have more total army strength. Okay. But number of towns. So number of castles is still blue. So they have more than 2 castles. Maybe they have 3, maybe they have 4. But then towns, they have 1 town, and I have 1 town, they have 1 town. And that's good information to have as well. Because that helps me kind of figure out how much do I need to be concerned about growth and pushing. With 1, 2, 3, 4 sorceress towns, if I can just hold what I have, I feel confident that through my sharp wit and intellect, that was a joke, I can eventually outgrow the enemy. And that changes the play style that you have to take with these games, with these scenarios. If you're never going to outgrow them, then you better have a good plan in place for how you're going to minimize your losses and maximize your effectiveness. We're going to take the luck here. Because I've already got that one early gold mine. Right now, just for your edification, I'm making about 4,000 gold per day. Because I've already got that other gold mine and I'm making so much gold, I feel comfortable foregoing more gold at the cost of additional damage in my main hero. Let's see. Looks like Jezebel's whole job now is going to be to just kind of be an end cap here and make sure that nothing terrible happens. If an enemy gets through here, it's not the best thing. I'll have to respond to it, but it'll take them a while to get gems, alchemist mine, crystal, gold, etc. But if I can make sure that they don't take vertigo anytime soon, that would serve me well. In fact, you're going to see me do something I don't usually do. I'm going to start building up this town because I think that this town is going to be the one town I'm going to say, okay, here is where my back is up against a wall. I will not lose this town without a fight. We will not go quietly into the night. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. On this day, we celebrate our Independence Day. You pause to help a diplomat with a broken axle fix his problems. In gratitude, he gives you a writing quill with magical properties which he says will help people see things your way. The cost of surrendering is down to only 10%. And I think I'm going to get the opportunity actually to meet up somewhere in this area with Wraithmont. Because I'm going to take this town, I'm going to get the sulfur mine, I'm going to get the magic well, finally. And then maybe I could pick up this treasure chest with my secondary hero. Treasure chests are losing their value in the sense that it takes more XP to level up every time you do level up. And so any amount of XP I get is not going to be as effective as it was in the early game. Dwarfbane, run for your lives. There's no guarantee I'm going to be able to come back here to this mercenary camp. I better get it right now. +1 to attack. While waiting out a storm, a lightning bolt strikes a nearby cottage's lightning rod, which melts and falls to the ground. The tip of the rod, however, survives intact and makes your hair stand on end when you touch it. That's 50% more damage to enemy troops via lightning spells. That's chain lightning, that is lightning bolt. Let's pick up this magic well. I don't think I could have gotten to this town this turn anyway, so we will just wait there. And then Agar will get in next turn, but it will be day 7, so he will wait to scamper back out into the big wide world. Okay. I do wish I could see more into this area, but for now, that will be Carlon's job after she picks up these juicy patches here. And oh, they are juicy. I am checking here to make sure that there's nothing hiding just behind these mountain ranges. Sometimes resources get trapped here. We can hit V for view mines, or excuse me, for view world, and it will show you if there's any circles. That will be any resources like you'd find here, and then artifacts will be in this nice little diamond pattern. So it doesn't look like there's anything that's really hidden. Nothing that's hidden anyway. And so that takes a load off my mind. Zens, again, thank you for that tip. This graveyard's not been visited. Perhaps it doesn't have to be Wraithmont that visits it, but I'm going to set up Crag Hack here so that we can do a nice chain very quickly. Not this turn, but or not next turn, but the one after. I am going to pick up some more additional defenses for this town. I have the ore. I might as well. This is Dimitri. Zounds of peasants. Zounds of peasants. That's a terrific amount of peasants. And that's a little concerning. Looks like Agar will be able to get to more or less here when he does move. And so let's have Crag Hack be right about here. Let's take this town. 6 gargoyles. Here's the thing. The gargoyles are about to outlive their usefulness. They've been wonderful. They've been terrific. I've been happy to have them, but I think I'm just going to have better troops available to me, especially as I have 4 Sorceress towns pumping out troops. I'm going to actually get rid of them right now because I don't think that it's going to be very important very soon. We're going to head to right here, and Crag Hack is actually going to be the one to bust through these pikemen and then do the handoff, and then we'll go from there. So you're in position. You're in position. Let's move Carl on. Ooh. We got some good ice artifacts here. 1, 2, 3 artifacts. I don't want to lose Carlon if she's going to do that. So preemptively, just to make sure that no one comes out of the fog of war and attacks her, we're going to split all these sprites so that way she can run if need be. If it was 2 minor artifacts, I wouldn't be so worried about it. But the plus morale, the ballista of quickness, assuming I get all these before somebody comes out of the darkness, those are definitely going to be worth it. She will be taking the treasure, not the experience, but all the same. And then in position, there's a lot of waiting going on, and that's okay. Last purchase here. Let us get our left turret. And we'll go from there. Okay. After regular growth, the population of centaurs is doubled, and now we see lots of centaurs dotting the map in some odd places. Thankfully, there's not one like right here, or like right here. Yeah, I just hate it when centaurs are blocking my main routes out. So let's have Agar make our big purchases. First off, Phoenixes, the best unit, best shooter, second best shooter. We'll take the unicorns, and we are out of gold. We have 1,300. We're gonna wait. We're not gonna take any other troops right now. Very fast, fast, ultra fast. I'll take the 1 goblin though, or I'll just take the whole stack of goblins because we're going to do this handoff here. Yep, and Crag Hack will keep that. Crag Hack's also going to take actually half of the goblins because he's going to need to have some troops when this is all said and done as well. Pikemen are going to scatter. I do not want to engage with them. Now Wraithmont has a terrific fighting force full of some shooters, this huge stack of ogres, and the fastest unit in the game. Well, tied for the fastest unit in the game. A 3rd level spell. I haven't been able to really upgrade my Mage Guild anytime recently. I think I'm going to see if I can get lucky here. I'll fight these orcs because it'll be cheap. Crag Hack is going to clear that campfire for me. Mass Curse, I will take that. And then Dispel, not bad, not bad. I will take what I can get here. A leprechaun offers you a Medal of Valor for the small price of 2,500 gold. It's not small. And 3 mercury. Do I wish to buy this artifact? Generally, I say no, but I actually do like this artifact, and I think I will be able to pick up all these other artifacts. If there's rogues or anything like that, then I'm going to be very disappointed. But otherwise... Oh, I try to pay the leprechaun, but realize I can't afford it. Well, an icicle withstanding the full heat of the noonday sun attracts your attention. Intrigued, you break it off and find that it does not melt in your hand. That'll be plus 50% to cold spells. Taking all the gold we can get. I don't care about what the spell is, but that should be enough gold and mercury. Pick up that. After scouring the area, you fall upon a hidden chest containing the ancient artifact Giant Flail of Dominion. Okay, we can walk away with 4 artifacts here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. I am going to lose Big Oak, but Wraithmont is heading that way. It's going to be a little bit of a nasty collision, I think. And now we'll start... I got to pick up the marketplace at any point. Maybe if Dimitri takes Big Oak, maybe they'll even upgrade it for me. That would be great. It'll cost them the ore and the wood rather than me. I don't want them to have 8 sprites. I want them to earn the fights, even though I'm going to not fight this fight. Oh, 8 peasants. I should have actually stopped to see what the fight had in store for me. That's one I wish I could get back. I was far too flippant, and now I am sad because I don't know how tough of a hero Dimitri is. And that, I don't know, this is a game about information, really. When I stop and consider this game, it's all about information and making the best decisions. As much as possible, you want to avoid saying, well, I didn't know. How could I have known? Because whenever you say that, it generally means that you made a mistake and now you're paying the price for it. Okay, did they upgrade it? They did not. Dimitri is coming in hot. And then Lord Kilburn. Okay, we are getting to the point, folks, where we're probably going to start having to worry a lot about feeling this pressure and do we have enough. And I'm not sure, because I'm guessing that they've had several night towns that have been pumping out troops for now, what is this, month 2, week 1, for 4 weeks. That if that's 4 night castles, that's 4 night castles at 4 weeks worth of growth each. That's a lot of growth. And really what that tells me is I need to focus on the Great Equalizer. What is the Great Equalizer? Spells. I gotta start getting my mage guild in my main town up to snuff. Walking through the ruins of an ancient walled city, you find the instrument of the city's destruction, an elaborately crafted ballista. Now, it is possible that Lord Kilburn will have a chain lightning. I have enough gold to rehire this hero, and I want to do so. So that way they can get the artifacts over. But perhaps if I just stay hidden in the shadows, if I make them fight me, perhaps that'll behoove me. So we'll just stay right here. We'll just stay right here and just see what Lord Kilburn does. I'm guessing he's going to be heading for this main town, but difficult to say. Every building I purchase does increase my defenses in that town. So I am going to be building a building here. And I'm going to make it the Mage Guild. It's a little more expensive than some of the other buildings, but, well, I guess that this Mage Guild is not going to suit Jezebel very well, but all the same. I still think it was the right play, even though it didn't work out. We're still collecting all these side resources where we can. I'm very close to my next level of experience, so I will take the experience, even though I really prefer, in that case, the gold, just because it feels like it's getting kind of close to the wire. We can, and we will fight these Archmages. How many troops will I lose? More than it feels, more than I'm comfortable with losing, that's for sure. Let's go for this town. Let's take Big Oak back. And let's see if we can withstand the onslaught that is Dimitri. Because Wraithmont has very fast, average, fast, I'm going to be moving at average speed. So he's got Zounds of Peasants. Dimitri's already going to be moving slower as a hero on the adventure map than I will. Plus, I've got the true compass of mobility. I'm going to be moving much faster than him. I think that even if he attacks or if he just runs right by and tries to do some damage in here, I think I will be able to catch him. So I can't make any more suppositions about what the next couple of days will bring. We just need to push forward with this. We're going to fight this fight. I noticed that we lost, or they lost 410 peasants. That's great. But let's see if we can get some higher priority troops. Ooh. Let me think about that decision. Do I like what the AI just did there? The AI used a left turret, a right turret, and the ballista to focus down the peasants. And they killed a lot of peasants. It was probably the most efficient use of their time. But the problem is that now that more or less feels like I'm forced to use my Grand Elves to kill peasants. Because my Grand Elves and my Orc Chieftains. Because if I'm not getting the help from the tower to kill the Crusaders, then what's the point? Maybe I'll kill one Crusader, maybe 2 Paladins. But if the town defenses are only going to focus in on peasants, I should probably do the same. That's a little disheartening. Well, no time like the present. Let's wait. The only thing that could really ruin my day, I mean, that doesn't make me feel great, but the only thing that could really ruin my day would be if the ballista takes out my main drawbridge. There's no retaliation there, so I'm not going to worry about the sprites attacking versus not. I might as well take out more peasants. That's so disheartening. I know I'm losing the fight anyway, but... Okay. Oh, rats. They've broken through. Wow, they have broken through. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? That was 3. That was 3. Oh, with the blood morale coming in clutch. That was 3 additional rounds of combat for each of them. That was stupendous. I'm not even mad. If you're going to fight me and you're going to cause me grief like that, just make it awesome. I'm going to skip. It's not going to matter. But I skip so that way maybe I have a chance to get one more round of defenses off. It wasn't going to matter, but... So somehow I did worse. I'm guessing that was because of the morale. Interesting. So despite my best efforts, I could not hold Vertigo. And now, did I just make it harder for me to fight that fight in the future? I think absolutely. Absolutely. Let's take this here. If these 2 heroes combine, I will be much worse off. And so even though I'm not confident in my ability to take out Lord Kilburn, I think I'm forced to shoot for the moon and do the best I can. As you can tell, whenever I go to other heroes and let them parade around, that's when you know that I'm not happy with that possible decision, because I'm putting that off as long as I can. Unfortunately, I can't put that off too much longer. Carlon, I'd like to get her into here, but because she's got the artifacts, she'd be best off being within, if Wraithmont's going to make this fight happen. Next turn, I really want her to be able to drop those resources off. Can I beat both of these champions? I got 50 spell points. I got the mass cure. I got the mass curse. That won't affect the Crusaders, but it will affect everybody else. 7 spell power. 7 spell power and only a magic arrow to really make great use of that. I should have been doing this a while ago. So far, no help here. And let's upgrade this town here. "81 Ogre Lords" is tremendous. But say that I make Lord Kilburn run. Will I then be able to withstand the full might of Dimitri? Possibly. And possibly not. I think that was 5 to 6 of Paladins and Crusaders. I'm guessing it's about 5 to 6 Crusaders here. I think I ought to. If they combine forces, I won't be able to beat their combined army. We have to divide and conquer while we can. So I'm expecting heavy losses or even a loss here. No? Interesting. 4 Phoenixes, though. We're going to do better than that. 55 Rangers is a pretty terrific sum. Thankfully, they're going to go pretty much last. At least they're going to go after my Greater Druids. Great morale, not blood. That's useful to know. We are going to cast the Mass Curse right off the bat. It's absolutely the best spell I have. Absolutely the best spell I have. It'll affect here, it'll affect here. Won't affect the Crusaders, but we're not going to fly across the battlefield and try to cause some grief anyway. 4 knowledge, 4 spell power. There could be some nasty spells coming out. We're not going to know until we get there. I don't think I mind clumping up my troops, for fear of a fire bowl, for fear of a cold ring. If there is, we'll take it. Curse, I'm fine with that. And let's kill 23 to 38 of these Rangers. Let's work on the rest of that stack. Let's go full defense on these Greater Druids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These Crusaders are coming in hot. Let's move our Ogre Lords into position to absolutely wreck your day. That was tremendous. Oh, not having to take the initial damage from that is so wonderful. Oh my word. Okay, and now I'm thinking to myself, I think I can beat this fight. I think I can beat this fight, and he's not going to get a single offensive attack on me. Folks, I think we can do this. Watch this. I'm going to kill 6 to 8. 6 to 8. If I bless here, and then my Druids will have to be able to kill 5 Medusas. We're going to bless the Phoenixes. Well, because we could. At worst, we're going to kill 6. I'm going to gamble that we're going to do middle of the road damage, that we're going to do about 30 damage each for these Phoenixes. I'm not going to waste the bless because I might need that 70 damage from the magic arrow later. This is a gamble, but it was a good gamble. We did 360 damage, which was actually about average. And then let's focus on, let's see. Again, we at worst will kill 4. We might kill 5, but we'll have a chance to use a magic arrow just if not. Unicorns are going next. Let's see if we can kill. We'll kill. We got this. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. And you don't get to run. They didn't even scratch me. They didn't touch me. They didn't look at me. They didn't even see what hit them. And when we talk about sorceresses, and I mentioned in a couple of scenarios ago why I had misjudged the value of the unicorns. It was because unicorns fit into the army of the sorceresses. Excuse me. Not as a highly tanky unit, but in a high damage unit for a faction that relies on speed. In that instance, that speed was on full display. The slower knights did not even have an opportunity to sniff me. We're going to take the Expert Eagle Eye. I think the Expert Eagle Eye is better than Advanced Mysticism. And then we're going to assume that Dimitri is going to want to kind of move towards us, either this way, or stay in the castle. And so if we're here, this will be close enough that Carlon can pass over those artifacts, and then with the Ballista of Quickness, I don't feel bad about taking this fight. This is good. This is very good, folks. Let's just hope nobody pops out of the darkness there, and that is our turn. How could you? Hurt and shocked. Oop, that's Gwyneth. That is Gwyneth. In your travels, you find a leather purse filled with gold that once belonged to a great warrior king who had the ability to transform any inanimate object into gold. That's plus 500 gold per day. I really don't want to lose Crag Hack at this point, but even if I do, he will pay for himself if I have to rehire him. He will pay for himself in 5 days. So I might as well pick up all this other gold as well, even if he's not able to get out before Gwyneth can take him. Let's transfer over these artifacts. And let's have Carlon now do her duty as a scout. Agar, let's have Agar go back. He should be in preparation to help us out later. Do I need to adjust anything here? I think not. I think we just need to fight this fight. There's going to be some casualties, but let's see what we can do to minimize those. I really think that if they had been able to combine those forces into one hero, we would have been in a very difficult position. A very difficult position indeed. Once again, I am going to consider, do I curse or is there something better? Curse is a terrific spell. I'm not going to send the Phoenixes across the wall this turn. I'm just going to eat the damage from the town defenses. I'm going to take the Mass Curse right now, and I'm going to move into somewhat of a defensive position, let my slower units get closer. Maybe because there's no archers in Dimitri's army, maybe they will sally forth and try and get my shooters. I think that that's the best I can hope for. And especially if I'm going to lose maybe one ogre per turn, that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I do not have archery, so if I shoot any of these troops, I'll be shooting at half damage. So instead, I will take the full damage because there's a section of wall I can shoot through and hit these pikemen. I gotta take them out at some point anyway. I might as well do the damage now. Note that the Grand Elves, they do not have that luxury of being able to shoot the pikemen for full damage. We might as well just start working on these peasants. Oh, the peasants. We had been so sad that they had that we had to focus on the last fight, and now it's not feeling nearly so bad. And I think now we're going to strike and try and take out as many of these Crusaders as possible. Let's just bless the Phoenixes. Do our damage there. Oh, tremendous. And we're not going to attack these paladins because right here we will lose our turn because we'll land in the moat. And if we're here, we're going to roast our unicorns. Let's focus on this very worthy of our attention stack of Master Swordsmen. Could you imagine being a Master Swordsman and this mythical bird is flying at you like Moltres from Pokemon, and all of a sudden you're done. You're just done. You're just done. That would be the most terrifying thing in the world. You fight all the days of your life to be the best soldier you can be, and then you lose to something like that? Disappointment. Endless Battle Mercury, +1 Mercury per day, and I'm actually really happy to see that because that means I've still got some slots in my artifacts for later. We have 22 out of our 50 spell points, but we also still have more than half of our movement points for the day. If I purchase a Mage Guild here, though, right now, I'll be able to get my level 2 spells, which finally we have an offensive spell. And then if I do wait one night, then I will be able to purchase my level 3 Mage Guild from this town as well. Let's focus on all my other towns. Let's focus on this Mage Guild that's up here, because so far this one's been a little bit of a dud. Doesn't mean it will continue to be, but since this is where it's most accessible to my main hero, let's have our main Mage Guild be up front. Yes, even where the enemy might take it and cause me some grief. All the same. Let's not forget about Gwyneth. There's a good chance that we're going to need to run back that way very, very quickly. It's not going to be too sad for me to take one more hero. And so this one more hero is going to go clear out those nomads. Take the army. And then press forward and return them tomorrow. I think I'll have just enough movement points to make that work. And if not, I have another hero here with Carlon who can facilitate a trade as necessary. Let's also start working on purchasing troops for my secondary towns as well. Oh, there she comes. Run, Crag Hack, run! Do not run towards that town. It's not going to save you. It's not going to help you. Fight that fight. Let them run. Yep. So 4 attack, 8 defense, 3 power, 2 knowledge. As we get into this kind of mid-game, it's worth noting that sorceresses do have the advantage. They just do. And so all the weeks of growth that we've lost potentially are not going to be as harmful to us just because we're catching up. They really needed to press their advantage sooner, and I'm guessing that they have not been able to really do so. Do I like this split? I do like that split. And now Astra's going to go back and pick up these. And that does free up Carlon to finally get over here. Deal with some issues there. Agar's making some preparatory steps. And then Big Brother Wraithmont is making sure that little brother Crag Hack does not get absolutely slapped by Gwyneth. I could see her going south. And that would be a little bit sad, but that's not going to stop me from purchasing things like, in this case, the statue. Nothing to be built in my main town. Not at this time. Oh, wonderful. That seems like a mistake to me, but to each their own. Crag Hack. Ooh. Crag Hack is actually going to take this Vial of Mercury and the Cord of Wood. He's going to send over the Statesman's Quill. We're going to keep the Evercold Icicle because we did pick up the whatchamacallit, the Cold Ray, but we are going to take the Everhot Lava Rock because I don't think we have any fire damaging spells at this point in time. I mean, we don't have a Lightning Rod either, but I'm generally find myself casting Lightning Bolts more often than Fireballs. Okay, and then Crag Hack must survive. It's his job to stay alive and keep those resource generating artifacts in my possession. Okay. Carlon presses forward. Another hill fort. Agar's back in town. And let's fight this fight. Okay, it says we're going to win, but at the cost of all our phoenixes, let's see if we can do better. And maybe we can't. I think we're getting to the point where maybe we just can't. I think we're again going to do this mask curse. If these 12 champions get good morale, I'm going to wish that they were cursed. Same with the swordsmen, same with the pikemen, same with the rangers. Mask curse is just that good. And let's move into a fully defensive alignment here. Let's again focus on the shooters. Even though they're cursed, these rangers can pump out some serious damage. But now that does free up the Grand Elves. Do I focus on Crusaders or Champions? I think this is a time where I focus on the lower hit point unit. Lower defense and lower hit points in the Champions, because 5 to 10 damage. This is the highest threat stack is the Crusaders, but this stack is the priority because I can do more damage. I can take out more of their DPS by attacking the weaker, still relatively high damage champions. Even though they're cursed? That's a good question. And I don't have an answer for you, but I'm going to stick with what I said. Oh, that's interesting. The unicorns are not going to be able to defend these greater druids. My phoenixes will still get the next chance to move. If I move the unicorns to here, then the champions will not be able to slide in here. They can't get through this gap, and they won't be able to get through this gap. So we're doing a little bit of blocking here, and then we are going to move the ogre lords up. Oh, tremendous. Even though we're cursed, we're going to kill 5 of these crusaders. Love it. Love it. And now I'm thinking to myself, look, there's terrain here. These crusaders, they can walk this way, I think. But if I can do a ton of damage to 2 stacks of troops, perhaps I should. And in fact, that's what I am going to do. I'm going to attack the 2 more offensive troops here, the champions and the master swordsmen, as opposed to the veteran pikemen, even though the veteran pikemen are a little bit more of a high quality troop, in my opinion. We're going to do the bless. The bless is going to make sure that we're doing 420 damage to both champions and these master swordsmen. Buckle up. Ooh. That's tremendous. We just lost so many greater druids. I am so sad. But then again, it's like, hey, You killed my champions and my master swordsman. I think the 10 greater druids is a fair exchange. I do. I think it's a fair exchange. Oh my goodness. This is terrific. I'm not going to focus on Crusaders. I think the Ogre Lords will solve that riddle. And then let's focus on these veteran pikemen. They're going to go next. Am I going to lose one Phoenix? I don't think I'm going to lose a Phoenix this fight. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Ogre Lords can't make it there, but neither can the Unicorns. Okay, and then they run. So 10 greater druids. Okay, we are fighting these fights pretty well, I think. I do think we're fighting these fights pretty well. Very interesting to note. So there's Natasha. Very interesting to note that there is a path through there. I think I'm going to stay near Vertigo, though, because I do want to see that 5th level Mage Guild. We got to pick up the Tavern. I guess I should have picked up the Well, just for the additional elves. Oh well. And then... Is this Vertigo? Hold on. Yeah, this is Vertigo, so we're going to get the 4th level Mage Guild. And then we will get the 5th here next turn. Fire Blast and Resurrect. Fire Blast, I may take that Everhot Lava Rock back, because Fire Blast is pretty good. It's pretty good. And then in my main town, there's no purchases to make here. So. Okay. Yeah. Let's go this way. Actually, we're gonna lose out on some of our movement points because Crag Hack is blocking the way. But I think that we can make it to where we'll get this 5th level spell. We'll pick up this extra artifact. We'll do the swap with Crag Hack. In fact, we'll do this right now because I do want the Everhot Lava Rock. And then I will give up nothing. I'll give up nothing, but that's okay. Okay. Hydra's growth is +5. An ensnared unicorn whinnies in fright, murmuring soothing words. You set her free, snorting and stamping her front hoof once. She gallops off. Looking down, you see a golden horseshoe. +1 luck. Which I'm actually really excited for. +1 luck. It sounds maybe a little inconsequential, a little silly, but I'm really looking forward to that. Okay. I have the most heroes. I have the best army strength. I have the most artifacts. I do not have the most income. That's okay. And blue still has more towns and more castles than I do. So there is a little bit of concern. The battle's not over yet, but I have stopped their initial push into my main domain. So let's pick up this. Wraithmont's going to have to stop in. Let's have Crag Hack move over the +1. And then Crag Hack needs to stay alive. Oh, no. I wanted him to path this way, but these centaurs made it so I couldn't path this way. It forced me to path this way, and I didn't catch it in time. And now Wraithmont is staying here for one whole extra turn because he's blocked off and he can't get through. Logistics matter. Logistics matter a lot. I guess I'll wait one more turn just because I'm going to need to get some resources in. Anyway, we'll pick up the marketplace. And so we'll have a very good exchange rate on our resources when we do purchase them. And then Carlon. Whoop. Found a new town. That's terrific. We have plenty of gold, so let's purchase all the phoenixes we can get here. Let's purchase our shooters. Let's get our unicorns, grand elves, and we will leave the sprites. We will leave the battle dwarves. And let's take out these centaurs. They have officially vexed me for the last time. Aha, it looks like it's just right there. That little entry or exit point is just that close, which is very good to know. So Crag Hack, again, I want Crag Hack in the back line. It's Carlon who's exploring, and it is... Oh, Gwyneth. There's Gwyneth. Well, Carlon is gone. Very sad. Very sad. And then Wraithmont, we are now going to trade to get our 5th level spell. If we get lucky and we get something excellent, then we could have a huge advantage. 5th level spells are not to be taken lightly. Sometimes you get a real stinker, though. Okay, so we need 10 of each. And then one more here. And we can get our 5th level spell guild. Okay. Game breaking, potentially. Let's see what we got. Dimension Door. I could not have asked for anything better. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to just put that out on the wind because it was so fragile. It's like it would shatter if I said it aloud. And then in my heart of hearts, the universe said, you know, I know that that's what you want, but you can't have it. And so I didn't want to say it out loud, but that's exactly the spell that I wanted. Wraithmont does have a couple of good spell points to his name, but having the mobility to be able to cast it 6 times is excellent. We have 1 magic well there, 1 magic well here, and then we just saw 1 up here. So we're going to be able to use that to great effect. I think that I want to take out Natasha first because Gwyneth is still far enough away that I'll be able to get back. And there is a magic well there. So let's start being globetrotters. In just 1 second. We'll fight the fight. Why not? Should I get the graveyard? No. I think that I can win that fight, but I don't want to worry about any losses. I really don't. Let's move everything over. Oh, not that. And I think that we're just close enough that... Oh, we don't have expert wisdom. No! We don't have expert wisdom. That's so sad. There's a treasure chest right here. And we have a tree of knowledge right here. How much experience do we need? We need about 3,000 experience. If we fight this fight, do a lot of damage, and we get this treasure chest, maybe we'll be enough to pick up 1 level and then 1 more level. Darn. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. These things happen. I don't think I need to... I just fought Gwyneth. I don't think I need to look at that again. See, Natasha knows that we're right here. Maybe Natasha doesn't think that we have that much movement. I could be wrong, though. Let's see if we can avoid losing 6 unicorns. Wow. I have this mass curse, and it's terrific, but this immune to curse is really coming in handy for the Crusaders. Again, we are going to cast that mass curse. It just makes the most sense. We're going to go again into more defensive positions. Blind is terrific there. I'm not going to disparage them for using that blind. No attack, very little defense. Let's take out their shooters. Let's just not have to worry about the rangers. And then let's work here. Okay, okay. Yeah, I did get anti-magic in my mage guild in my main town. It's pretty far away to go and get that, but I may go back at this point and get that. At some point, I may go back and get that. I wish that I had some kind of way I could hit 2 troops at once here, but I just don't have the opportunity. I do have a cure. I think that's just inviting another blind, though. Well, yeah, and that's the point. They're going to have to choose. Do we do some other spell to stay on top of me, or are they going to just keep blinding my ogres? If they keep blinding my ogres, that's still a victory for me, because my other troops are strong enough to absolutely carry this fight. So I don't have any problem with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter where we go. We might as well. We're gonna end up taking losses anyway. That's a lot of losses. I don't love it. Do not love it. And so already I fought this fight worse than the computer did. Because the computer said I lost, what, 4 unicorns? And here I lost a phoenix and 12 greater druids. Yep, it always feels so bad when you fight fights worse. It feels so bad. But we got to do what we got to do. And I think we'd rather fight those fights than just, you know, let the skill portion of in-battle combat go to waste. Perhaps Astra should stay in Vertigo just as a static defender. Without Dimension Door, it'll be a long time to get Wraithmont back in the action. Maybe I don't chase him down with these troops, because maybe this is enough army to really make them think about pushing into me. Then again, maybe not. We still do have purchases to make. Cottage. And not here. Here. Archery range. We have very few precious resources, but at least we are getting a slow and steady supply of each. And these heroes don't seem like they feel confident to push out into me. That gives me a little bit of breathing room. We can push forward from there. Witch's Hut, diplomacy, but we don't have any other things we could take. Aha! Look at this. We need just this much experience to get ourselves to the next level. We'll take the expert wisdom. We'll go back. We'll get the tree of knowledge, and then we will go get our dimension door. That's the ticket. Perfect. Perfect. That worked out just about flawlessly. Let's have Crag Hack. Because he's got these artifacts, his job is just going to be to ferry troops to the front. Let's hold down the fort until Wraithmont gets back. Let's keep building up our secondary towns. What do we need here? I guess we need a mage guild at some point. And then here, Stonehenge is available. And then off we go. I do see this boat here. For 2,000 gold, I'm absolutely going to take 6,200 experience points. I'd love to take that expert ballistics. That along with my ballista of quickness. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. Everybody just needs to stay home for right now. We're just trying to build up, and we can push out later. Stay 5. I think I've got one more town that needs a well. Which one is it? Let's get the well before I forget. I would hate it if I just forgot it. Okay. So day 5. I'm probably going to get Gwyneth this next turn. Astra is going to step out of the castle. We're going to get our dimension door right on over. And there will be quite the surprise. Quite the surprise indeed. Nothing here. Stonehenge here. Feels so nice just to be able to purchase whatever you want whenever you want to. You don't always get that luxury. But when you do have it, feels pretty good. And again, right now my gold income per day is 5,000. We might as well make all the purchases we possibly can. Okay. That might be just a little too far out of our way to be able to get Gwyneth this turn. No troops to purchase at this time. Well, I guess I can pick up the unicorns. Really, we're just here for the dimension door. Astra's going to move over everyone. Now that I have dimension door on Wraithmont, I feel comfortable pushing forward and not having static defenders. Let's dimension door right on top of them. And I think if I'm the enemy right now, I'm saying to myself, this battle is not. This campaign has not gone the way I wanted it to. Their troop sizes are so low, minus these dwarves, that I'm not going to use the mass curse. I am considering the cold ray on their highest defensive unit. I think the phoenixes will destroy the crusaders anyway. I'll just spend the 6 on the champions. Just take out one whole stack of troops. Take out this other stack. Take out this other stack. And we'll work on the easiest stack to do damage to. Right now, I'm anticipating that they will run. Maybe not. But I'm anticipating that they were going to run pretty soon. And so I might as well get all the experience points I can out of them for all the damage dealt. We have 24 spell points left. That's 2 more dimension doors. There's a magic well here. We're going to plan on hopping over this either here or here. Probably right into here to pick up this Mercury. And we're going to take this town next turn. It's day 7. Any last purchases before the end of the week? I think not. If I could get the fenced meadow, I would, but it's not. I'm not going to have enough resources to trade for it. Instead, we will get the Crystal Garden. And then we will get nothing here. Okay. Feels good. There was a lot of production that turn. Work growth is up. There's one of our dimension doors. And actually, I'm going to Step out of my way a little bit. The +1 knowledge, that's 1 extra dimension door every single turn. That is never a bad thing. We'll come back and get this mercenary camp and this temple and this standing stone in just a second, but for now, we need to get this town this turn. Olympus, no losses, no problems. We'll step in just so we feel comfortable in the elements, and then no other turns to take at this time. Because we have to dimension door back this way anyway, we might as well stop in at the magic well. I will waste some dimension door movement picking up both of those. Oof. Let's prioritize the castle. Which is a completely undefended, and then assuming that there's a mage guild in here, which it looks like there is, then we will have full points coming out of this tomorrow. And then no matter where they run, we will catch the enemy heroes. That right there was, check the newest version of the game at github.com, iHub, FHeroes2 releases. Folks, I haven't said it this game yet, I'll say it now. Heroes 2 is absolutely worth playing. It's especially worth playing when you have the FHeroes2 edition. Go pick up this game. Go get the GOG version. Go get the Ubisoft version. It doesn't matter which base game you get, but then make sure you go and you get the FHeroes2 on top of this. It is tremendous. I love the AI. I love the user face. I love the quality of life buffs. Can't say enough about it. Let's continue. And if you notice, I'm not doing a whole lot with my other heroes. I don't think I really have to at this point. I think that this army is strong enough that I can press my advantage and push forward. Nothing to purchase here. I'm not going to get another mage guild. Let's carry on. Pick up the +1 attack as I'm going. I'll accept those losses. And I learned Lightning Bolt. That's terrific. My obviously, as you can see, my Eagle Eye came in very, very handy. I know that roads are not difficult to traverse, but I'm over here enough that I might as well get one step closer. Take out Gwyneth. That is a tremendous fight. Looks like we're going to win, but we're going to need to be a little more crafty about this than the AI in this auto battler did. Let's do the mass curse. The stacks are big enough of all these troops that it seemeth well to me. Let's again not fly across the battlefield and immediately lose all of our phoenixes. Let's move into this position. Blood morale. I'm expecting at least one of these troops is going to get good morale and jet right across the battlefield. Maybe it'll be these Crusaders. And for that reason, I'm gonna move my phoenixes down. I'm gonna try and protect the Grand Elves a little bit more. Who cares about 6 greater druids? And these Crusaders are gonna have to go further to get good morale and then strike my phoenixes. That seems like the choice to me. Sure, we'll do as much damage to these Rangers as possible, but I'm not worried. And if eventually my Phoenixes do get the first breath attack and they can attack 2 units at the same time, even better. Even better. Yeah, even better. We will continue to focus on the Rangers just to prevent some of that damage from coming out. Let's get the Unicorns closer to that side of the battlefield. And eventually I'm hoping that these Ogre Lords will deal with these Paladins. There's 2 Phoenixes. There's 3 Phoenixes total. With the Blast, 24 attack skill. I know you've got a ton of defense here, but with this, I think that I could sure cast the Lightning Bolt. It does 337 points of damage because I've got the plus 50% artifact in my holdings. But I think that, and I could cast Fire Blast, which would, cover a huge range. But I think that I'm going to get the most benefit out of a simple Bless and then killing 2 stacks of units at the same time. And we're going to focus not on the Rangers. We're going to focus on the Champions and the Crusaders. I like everything that just transpired there. That was beautiful. Let's continue to focus the Rangers. The Rangers packed a punch. They did a very good job in doing what they needed to do. The Phoenixes are a loss. I'm guessing that these Grand Elves will be a loss. Let's just make sure that we don't have to take so much damage from these Rangers moving forward. And then let's move into position. Next turn for the Unicorns to be very effective. And then my cursed Ogre Lords are still going to do a tremendous amount of damage. Yeah. Overall, this fight is finished, but I'm happy with the way it went. I could potentially resurrect some Phoenixes. They're not going to last till the end of the battlefield, but I may walk away with one Phoenix. I think I will do that, actually. I'm going to resurrect 450 points worth of Phoenixes. They're not blessed, but they're still going to do some damage. And then, if I leave this battle with just one Phoenix left, I'll be feeling very happy. I'll be feeling very happy. Plus, the Phoenixes are the best unit I have on the battlefield to do damage to these Crusaders with their 21 defense skill, because I got the 24 attack skill, and so it's still worth it. Even if these are fake troops, they're not going to last forever. Maybe I'll walk away from this battlefield with one Phoenix, and if not, I'll still do a tremendous amount of damage here. Looks like the AI is not going to allow that to happen, though. I'm gonna make the Ogre Lords trend this way, just in case Gwyneth wants to really draw this fight out. Just in case. I wish I could attack these Crusaders. I cannot. Okay. And then we'll go this way. There goes the Phoenixes. So I'm not going to resurrect them again. At this point, I think I can just start lightning bolting. This should be what? Is this all 5? That's 5 there, or 16 there. Let's just start taking out stacks, because eventually these Ogre Lords are going to mix it up and do something crazy. Let's kill one whole stack. That simplifies the battle as far as running goes. And then I got this chance to blind. If I can blind, who do I want to blind? I would want to blind the Crusaders. I did not get that opportunity. That's okay. And then Greater Druids are speed 6, but so are the Crusaders. I'm guessing the Crusaders go first next. They magic arrow and they run. No, they don't. I just take down Gwyneth. I take her down. Tremendous losses, of course, but I mean, I still walk away with more than I did initially under first glance. 4,100 experience and Card of Ore, Gauntlets of Protection. Not too bad. I think I'm out of slots, and so there may have been more to be had, but we'll take what we can get. It's day 3. We have a fairly weak army. We have made tremendous strides. Let's get another hero here just to help me do some exploring. It'll be Phineas. He's going to travel by road this way. And then we are going to, because we have got plenty of gold, we're going to get Vesper. He doesn't come with any gargoyles? That's so sad. I just anticipated he would come with gargoyles. And then Vesper is going to go up this way and follow the road up that way. Wraithmont is still the scariest thing around here. 26 magic points. A week's worth of creature growth. Stone liths. We're gonna push like we're going to attack this town, but we may not. We will see. We will see. In the meantime, though, I've not been pushing troops to the front. I guess I'm gonna wait one more week. But it wouldn't be bad if I did. Oh, I should have thought about that fight more than I did, but all the same, 5 Greater Druids, 7 Ogre Lords. We're just gonna accept those losses. We're gonna take the logistics. We're gonna let Vesper go up to see if there's any magic well up here. There is not. But there's Dawn. 65 Ogre Lords. Can we break her back? I think we can. I think we can. This is me playing aggressive rather than smart. And that's okay. Let's have Wraithmont go here. Let's have Vesper hand over just a couple of supporting troops. And I think we can take this fight. I really do. I really do. And if we can't, oh no, woe is me. I'll retreat with 10% total cost and go from there. Let's fight this fight anyway. 20 out of our 65 Ogre Lords going down. I don't think I'm going to be doing it much better, but we'll let this happen anyway. I do have the expert ballistics now, so 1, 2, 3 shots. I know you've got the fortifications, and I don't care. Do not care. Lightning bolt. Let's consider who we want to lightning bolt. We have 2 lightning bolts. We have 2 lightning bolts. These towns, okay. 17 spell points. They just cast curse as their first one, so there's not going to be a blind coming out or anything like that. Since the towers are going to focus in on the Ogre Lords, we might as well do 2 lightning bolts. Let's lightning bolt. Well, is it time to use Fire Blast? That's so many. It's so many of my points of magic. I'm going to save the 1 spell point. Well, let's see. I'm going to magic arrow because it'll be only 3 magic points and I'll still kill 10 out of the 12 rangers. This will give something for all my centaurs to shoot at. Just target practice. And then terrific. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, buddy. What are you doing? Let's just start doing some damage here. Cold Ray here. We took out 1 more ranger. We're going to take out their Crusaders. And I'm going to cast 1 more spell, and then I'm just going to hit the auto combat and let the battle play out from here on out. They now only have the right turret and the ballista, and I'm going to cast lightning bolts on their scariest stack, and we're just going to hit auto combat. Well, I'm going to move into the moat. I'll take out their next biggest stack, and I'm just going to hit auto combat and let this play out whatever way looks best. Yeah, that ballista of quickness does a tremendous job. That is fantastic. Hypnotize, View All, Meteor Shower, Holy Word, Lightning, Steel Skin. I love all these spells. Hypnotize is the only one I'm not thrilled with. We're going to cast that now, though. Nope, we're going to cast that next turn. It doesn't really matter where we cast it. We're going to cast it next turn. There's crystal mines. There's things to pick up here. I am looking to end this game as quickly as possible at this point. We'll take these losses, but we have all of our spell points back. Let's see where this will take us. Oh, here's those. We noticed that there was these mines, and we asked ourselves if, like, how heavily they would be guarded. Looks like they are pretty heavily guarded. There's Carlon, there's Natasha. I'm not terrified by either of them. There's no additional troops to pick up, but with all my spell points, I don't think I have to be concerned. Let's push right into them. There goes 1. 30 Ogre Lords is too many for me to lose. 405 peasants is a lot. There goes a curse. Let's take out their shooters. Make them come across the battlefield to me. I'm not worried about the peasants just yet. I will worry about them eventually, but right now, nah. And especially when you're just casting things like, things like the... bringing down my defense skill. Those Crusaders are going to hit very hard when they do hit, assuming that happens. I can counter that by doing a steel skin. Should I? I think instead I'm just going to take the flat damage from the lightning bolt. That's where I mentioned earlier, might versus magic, and magic was the great equalizer. I think this is an example of that time where I'm just going to not waste time, and I'm going to let them regret not being able to come and get me. I don't even care. I'm not going to interact with you one more time this whole round. Wow. Yeah, you better run. Jeez. We have 35 spell points left. Plenty. We're going to take those losses there as well. I'm going to use one dimension door just to see how much closer we can get. We're going to have 341 movement points. That's enough to do one dimension door and attack this town, to move right into this town. And next turn we will have full magic points left. There's a blind. Folks, this is going tremendously. Can you tell? Actually, now we want to cast this view all. So there's a town here and a town here. It looks like they never picked up this one town. They never picked up this one town, but there's a town here. Any enemy heroes? I'm looking for blue shields on the map. Blue shields on the map. I don't see any heroes. And they can't recruit any heroes from this town. Folks, this is the game. We're going to make a beeline. We can't stop. We won't stop. And this, I believe, is the end of the game. Of a very fun campaign, or campaign scenario. I enjoyed that. That presented a unique challenge, and I think that this is 2 scenarios in a row where a 5th level mage guild gave me Dimension Door, and it saved me weeks worth of time of playtime, and I'm grateful for that, because once the game has been won, it's nice to know that, okay, we don't have to worry about the logistics so much. We can just kind of press our advantage. But it also highlights the importance of the logistical side of the battlefield. Who cares if you have a gigantic stack of troops in one army? If you can never get on top of the enemy, you're going to be wasting your time for a lot of that until eventually you win. But sure, that gives you opportunities to build up your army in other places, etc., etc. So, major event, blue player has been vanquished, and that's the scenario. Folks, that was scenario 8. We now have the choice. Will we go to scenario 9 or scenario 10 next turn? It'll be either the crown or greater glory. This, I believe, is the same choice that we had in the Roland campaign. Do we try and dig for an ultimate artifact, or do we try and get a gigantic army? Remember, either way, I will always go through the scenarios that we did not get to. Once we've finished both campaigns, both the Roland and the Archibald campaign, I will go back to the alternate scenarios. So either way, we're going to get to see them all. But I'm guessing, and I'll tell you right now, just as a little bit of a hint, because we did the search for the crown last time as Roland, I think this time we will do Greater Glory, scenario 10, for next time. But hey, I'll leave it up to the dice roll just a little bit. Folks, thank you so much for being with me. My name is FixFox. I'm grateful for everybody that spends the time. I'm grateful for the interactions. I'm grateful for conversations on Discord, questions and comments in the comment section here. I'm having a ton of fun, and thank you. Thanks for being here with me on that. My name is FixFox, and I'm out.